Hello everyone, welcome to my lecture. Here in this lecture, already in the previous lecture, I have explained two different questions from your NCERT exercise 7.1 of the chapter Permutations and Combinations. We have used fundamental principle of counting. Okay, so I am going to explain another two different questions from the exercise 7.1. Question number 4 and question number 5. Just go to the question number 4. What it is there? How many 5-digit telephone numbers? First of all, 5-digit telephone number. Okay, 5-digit telephone number can be constructed using the digits 0, 1, 2 up to 9. So telephone number, 5-digit telephone number. Okay, the objects are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5-digit telephone numbers can be constructed. Start with 67. All those numbers will be start with 67 and no digit repeated. That means repetition not allowed. Just think about the situation. How many 5-digit telephone numbers? That means you have to form a telephone number. Don't think that the telephone number should not be started with 0. Telephone number is 0 start no, you are not supposed to think like that because telephone numbers may start with 0 also. 5-digit telephone numbers you have to form using the digits from 0 to 9. Any 10 digits are there. Out of 10 digits you can use any 5 to form a 5-digit telephone number. Remember, all those telephone numbers should be started with 67. 5-digit telephone number, but the first 2 digits, that means the left hand digits should be 67. All those numbers should be started with 67 and repetition is no digit is repeated. So just like this, in the earlier the Airtel phone numbers started in 99, BSNL are 94. All those Aircel are 98 like that. Here how the phone numbers started with all those. In the same way, here we have to construct a phone number where it started with 67. From the first 2 digits, that is in earlier we got the idea what is actually phone number is from Aircel, Airtel, BSNL, what it is. So let's start the question. So as you have to form a phone number, this contains how many digits? 5 digits. So that's why I have drawn 5 different boxes. Okay, 5 digit telephone number. It is already given that the number should start with 67. Now my question is that how many places are left with us to be filled up? Kimanta place amar logot fill up koribo kare baki thakil. Obviously 3 different places are to be filled up. Now listen. The question is there. That means as repetition is not allowed, you are not supposed to use 6 and 7. You are not supposed to use 6 and 7s. Okay. So started with 6, 7. Okay. Then how many places are left with us? 3 places are left with us. Correct? So out of that means as the repetition is not allowed, you are not supposed to use 6 and 7. You are not supposed to use 6 and 7. Once again. Now, whenever I want to fill up the third place, first, second, third, suppose unit, 10, 100, 100 place. If I want to fill up the 100 place, how many objects are available with us to fill up? A place to fill up korbo karone eti amar logot kimanta object ase. How many objects are available with us? Obviously, 1, that means to fill up this one place, 100 place, you may use 0, 1, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 or 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This place can fill up in how many ways? 8 ways. As suppose I have started with 2. I have written 2 here. As repetition is not allowed, you are not supposed to use 2. How many different ways you can fill up the 10 place? How many objects are available with us? Kimanta objects are available as well? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This place can fill up in 7 ways, 7 possibilities are there. Suppose I have written 8 here. As repetition is not allowed, you are not supposed to use 8. Once again. How many possibilities are there to fill up the unit place? The unit place to fill up koribo karone kimanta object available ase? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This place can fill up in how many ways? 6. Can we replace 6 by another one? No. Instruction is given. All those phone numbers should be started with 6 7. So that's why this place is fixed for 6 and this place is fixed for 7. You have 6 able, you have 7 able. So what is the total number of ways to fill up? That is to have a 5-digit telephone number. All those places should be filled up. Good place to fill up. So that is, it is compulsory for us to fill up all those places. You have to take the place fill up, that means you have to fill up the first place and the second place and the third place and the fourth and fifth. You have to use and to fill up the places. That's why according to fundamental principle of counting, it will be 56 into 6 which is equal to 336. So this is a total number of 5-digit telephone numbers where repetition is not allowed. If I do the same question, so listen, in case of permutation and combination or in case of fundamental principle of counting, you can think the question in different ways. Eta question tumalke beleg direction of bhabibo pare. Suppose tumalka cortex di kiba ta bhul hoy. Suppose if you want to implement a new condition, then you will have a new question. Tamane tumalke condition da diya, question will be different. You can create your own questions. Here is chapter 2 interesting kotha to hoise the main interesting thing or interesting point about this chapter is that if the question is wrong, then also you have got a new conclusion. Question to bhul holo eta notun question create hoy. That means you can implement new terms, new conditions in this question, then a new situation will arise. So interesting is. So if I suppose if repetition is allowed, how many 6-digit numbers can be formed? Started with 6 7. So 6 7. Repetition is allowed. So you are not supposed to use 6 and 7. So all the digits are available with us. How many different ways you can fill up the third place? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Listen. If the repetition is allowed, can you use 6 and 7 once again? It is already fixed. This place is fixed for 6. This place is fixed for 7. If repetition is allowed, here you can easily use 6 or 7 to fill up the place. That means total number of objects will be in. Same. How many objects are available with us? 10 objects, 10 digits. So this place can fill up in how many ways? 10 ways. As repetition is allowed, so number of objects will remain same. It will not be decreased as repetition is allowed. Repetition allowed to here kane object on kane komi jata hai. So this place can fill up in how many ways? 10 ways. This place can fill up in how many ways? 10 ways. So total number of ways will be 1000. Am I correct? So that means we have 1000 5-digit numbers that can be formed starting with 67. 67 generally 5-digit telephone numbers. So if repetition is allowed, we have 10,000 5-digit telephone numbers started with 67. So how many telephone numbers can be formed? 5-digit telephone numbers can be formed where repetition is allowed. No other restriction is there. It started with 67. Suppose this condition is not given. It is suppose 67 is start of one. Only question is given. First question: how many 5-digit telephone numbers can be formed starting with 67 where repetition is not allowed? Suppose if repetition is allowed, we have here repetition is not allowed. We have got it 336. If repetition is allowed and started with 67, 1000 5-digit telephone numbers can be formed. If repetition is allowed, if no other restriction is there, how many 5-digit telephone numbers can be formed? This place can fill up in how many ways? 10 ways, as because 10 possibilities are there. As repetition is allowed, this one is 10, 10, 10, 10. You may arise the question. Tomorrow question arise to your sir. As 10 possibilities are there, that means you are considering 0 here also. Apuni 0 di start kora kotha bhabise. Can telephone number start with 0? Yes, obviously. If you go through the landline numbers, tomorrow jodi landline jibilakor ghor ase, tomorrow landline number bilak sabole gole. So first of ami eta district code to maribo lage jeneke 03630371 like that. All those numbers should be started with 0. 0 di start for number ase. So telephone numbers can be started with 0 also. correct? So here 0 can be used here in this place. That means how many possibilities are there? Any one of the 10 digits you can use. 10 possibilities. How many different? As repetition is allowed? 10, 10, 10, 10. So answer is 10 to the power 5. So this is the total number of telephone numbers can be formed out of the 10 digits. In this way, we have to find out the answer. A question also kiman question arise over. So many different questions can be arise. So let us discuss our another question. Another question means what is the next one? Question number 5. What is given there? The question is given that a coin is tossed 3 times. A coin is tossed 3 times, and the outcomes are known. Outcomes are recorded. Outcomes are recorded. Remember. So how many possible outcomes are there? You have to find the total number of possible outcomes. Think the situation properly. What you have to do? You have to toss a coin. You have to toss a coin for how many times? 3 times. That means I will repeat the same activity for 3 times. এটা কয়েন তুমি 3 বার টস কৰিব লাগিব আৰু প্ৰত্যেক বাৰতে এটা আউটকাম দিব আউটকাম মিন্স আউটকাম ফ্ৰম দা ওয়ার্ড ইউ হ্যাভ কাম টু নো আউটকাম যেটো ৰিজাল্ট পাবা মানে যেটো কয়েনটো টস কৰাৰ লগে লগে যেটো বস্তু বাহিৰলৈ আহিব দ্যাট মিন্স এজ এ ৰিজাল্ট হোৱাটএভাৰ উইল বি আনসাৰ ইউ উইল গেট ইট উইল বি নন এজ আউটকাম সো if a coin is tossed a coin has 2 different sides head and tail if a coin is tossed either you will get head or you will get tail হয় তোমালোকে head পাবা নহবা tail পাবা. That means if a coin is tossed, how many outcomes are available? 2 outcomes, head and tail. Remember, you have to repeat the same situation for how many times? 3 times. For the first time we have to toss, for the second time you have to toss, and for the third time. Second time and third time. Think properly. You have to toss the coin for how many times? 3 times. 3 বার toss কৰিব লাগিব. First time toss coin, you will note down the outcome. Second time, you have to note down the outcome. Third time, you have to note down the outcome. Okay, suppose how many different ways you will get the answer. So a coin has how many outcomes? A coin has 2 different outcomes. Either you will get head or you will get tail. তোমালোকে হয় head পাবা নহবা one side is known as head and another side is known as tail. This is known to you, I think so. So suppose for the first time I have tossed the coin. My first time coin to toss for you. What indicate? Someone is getting head or someone is getting tail. That means 2 possibilities are there. তোমালোকে কবা স্যার দুটা পসিবিলিটি আছে। হয় আপনি হেড পাবো নহলে বা টেইল পাবো। That means in this place you have to write the outcome. Outcome is recorded. You have to record the outcome. তোমালোকে ইয়াৰ আউটকাম লিখিব লাগিব। So what are the outcomes? Head or tail. How many possibilities are there to fill up the place? If case to kimanta ways to fill up কৰিব পাৰিবা. Someone will write head here or someone will write tail here. So 2 different possibilities are there. Either head লিখিব পাৰা নহলে বা tail লিখিব পাৰা. So you যেটো পাইছা to লিখিবা. If you are getting head, you will write on head here. If you are getting tail, you have to write on tail here. So 2 different possibilities are there. For example, just like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have to form a 2-digit number, how many different ways you can fill up? How many possibilities are there? You may write either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Kiba number likhile hobo kiba digit. So how many objects are available? 4 objects are available. So 4 ways of fill up your word. How many ways you can fill up? 2 ways, either by head or by tail. Okay. It is not mentioned that. Okay, listen. Outcomes are recorded whenever coin is tossed 40 times. Suppose I want to toss the coin for the second time. I have tossed the coin. He has shown that yes, we are getting head. Again, we have to pick up the coin. Mo coin to akobar loi lolu. Loi loar pisot so mo akobar toss koribole goisu. Is it like that? That if you are getting head initially, is it not possible for you to get head once again? Eta coin, for example, you can consider the die. Ludo die to tumalke consider koribo para. After getting, suppose whenever you are throwing a die, how many possibilities are there? 6 possibilities. Either you will get 1, or you will get 2, or you will get 3, or you will get 4, or you are getting 5, or you will get 6. 1 over 6 like kiba ta tomalke number pai jaba. Is it like that? That after getting 6 for the first time, you are not getting 6 in the second time? No. Continuously for the 3 time, we are getting 6. Continuously for the 2 time, you are getting 6. Ever 6 person akubar 6 power because you are throwing the die once again. Tomalke die ta akubar throw koisa notunke. So that's why you may get the same outcome there. Tar outcome bila ki ki? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All those are known as outcomes. So here, if I am going to toss the coin for the second time independently, so how many ways you can fill up? What you are getting? Either you will get head or you will get two different possibilities there. Again, you have to pick up the coin, throw it, toss the coin. So what you will get? Either you will get head or you will get tail. So two different ways you can fill up the place. So what is the, as you have to toss the coin exactly for 3 times. Tomalke 3 bar throw koriboi lagibo must be. So that's why you have to apply the multiplication principle. So 2 into 2 into 2. 8 ways that you can fill up the place. Total number of ways will be equal to 8. Are you getting my point? So in this way we can think about it. So what is the numbers? If I toss the coin for the first time, 2 possibilities are there. Either we get head or tail. That means this place can be filled up by head or by tail. So 2 possibilities. Again you have to toss the coin once again. In that case also, if you may get head or you may get tail, 2 possibilities are there. For the third time you are tossing the coin, so in that case also you may get head or tail. So that's the total number of ways will be 8. I hope you are getting my point. Very simple procedure. Just think yourself. Very practical example. For example, suppose if you are throwing a die means Ludo die to protect. So throwing a die, then for 3 times, what is the total number of outcomes? For 2 times suppose. Or for 3 times it will be better. First, what is the total number? Initially, whenever for the first time, whenever I will throw the die, how many possible outcomes will be there? Keep about me. Die ta throw koile. You may get 1 or you may get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. 6 possibilities are there. Again you have to pick up the die. Throw it again. What you will get? Before seeing the result, ever bhabisosun ki paba? Either you are getting 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. 6 possibilities are. Enaka nohoy je tumi prothom bar 6 pala boli kole second time 6 na paba enaka nohoy. You may get 6 also. That means so 6 possibilities are there that you can fill out. In the third time, again you have to throw the die. How many possibilities will be there? 6 possibilities. So what is the answer? 36 into 6. 260 outcomes will be there. Suppose throwing a die, you are recording the outcomes, then total number of outcomes is 260. Thank you so much. I hope you are getting my point. If you are not getting, just go to the video once again and try to get the idea. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much.